Hello world, I'm the Gingerbread Witch, and this is my first, or well, not my first live stream, but this is my live stream for Valheim with a brand new character. So we're going to go into that. I've never played this character before, I've never played this specific world before, so this will be just as if anybody in the world were playing a brand new character. I plan on live streaming both Valheim and Guild Wars 2, and when I do Guild Wars 2, I'm also going to um, make a brand new character for that one as well. I haven't decided what that character is going to be yet, but we are going to have a new character for all of that. I'm just waiting for this to load up so I can read you the intro item. Long ago, the Allfather Odin united the worlds. He threw down his foes and cast them into the 10th world, then split the boughs that held the prison to the world tree and left it to drift unanchored, a place of exile. For centuries, this world slumbered uneasily, but it did not die. As glacial ages passed, kingdoms rose and fell out of the sight of the gods. When Odin heard his enemies were growing once again in strength, he looked to Midgard and sent his Valkyries to scour the battlefields for the greatest of their warriors. Dead to the world, they would be born again in Valheim. You know, they're always so dramatic. Valheim. We're flying in. You can't really get a idea of what the land looks like from up here because, well, you can't see anything. But this is kind of accurate representation of what it's like when it's actually storming while you're playing. Okay, so go ahead and get this going. We're gonna go to talk to this dude. That's Hugin. Welcome to the welcome to the 10th World, warrior. I'm Hugin, sent here to guide you in your travels. The megaliths surrounding you are the sacrificial stones. They represent the Forsaken, which you must slay in order to ascend to Valhalla. So, yeah, he'll show up in a bunch of places, as a mini tutorial almost. So these are the Forsaken stones. They're kind of swanky looking. Cat trying to jump on me. No, get down, get down. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Sorry, that's... Alright, so we're going to talk to this dude. This stone is a big vizier? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Please don't come at me for it. These magical stones were scattered throughout the lands by Odin as signposts pointing towards the ritual grounds of the Forsaken. If inspected closer, this one will reveal the summoning place of Icthir, your first prey. I cannot talk today. This is not good. He is a mighty beast, so you need to properly arm yourself before even attempting to defeat him. It really is true, though, so, because you will get lit up if you try to go down. So, kind of shows you where it is, and I can actually take you up there and show you. But I'm not going to do that right this second. Well, actually, we have time. We're not going to activate him this second. To get out of this, if you're on a computer, you just press M for the map screen. I'm going to go ahead and grab this so I can make... I don't have enough. So I can make a club. Okay, take stock of your inventory. Most items must be crafted. However, due to your recent departure from Midgard, you will have to recall the true shape of objects. Just pick things up and it will all come back to you, I'm sure. My lesser brother Munin tells me that one can fashion a stone axe out of wood and stone. And you absolutely can. And right now, I'm saying a lot and I don't like it. Right now, there's some things that you can do. For example, on these little baby trees, you can actually punch them down and take it that way. Okay, I just got it. Now, doing things requires basically the use of a stamina bar. If you're just walking around, it doesn't really do anything. You can, if you're just straight walking around, then you don't lose any stamina. You can actually gain stamina back that you had lost in the future or in the past, but it will not. But let me see. So in order to run on a keyboard, you press forward and you press the shift button, and then now I'm booking it. But below me, you see there's that little yellow bar that's rapidly going down. It will replenish once I've stopped moving, or, well, once I've stopped running, I should say. And then your stamina also impacts things like how many attacks you can make, how long you can run, um, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and talk to him since I picked up some food. It's like a tasty morsel. You have found a snack. Consume it to improve your health and stamina. Be aware that before long you will grow hungry again, so try to always have at least a couple of different meals ready. Okay, so I'm not going to make whole meals, but I am going to eat that mushroom that I just picked up because it will increase my overall health and stamina. So on the bottom right, or on the bottom left, you see it says 25 over there with the like little fork symbol. So in order to get to the food, I'm going to press tab to get to my inventory. And then in my situation, I'm going to go ahead and right click on this mushroom to eat it. And right here, the stamina bar potential increased. And there's a little bit right here. So this tells you how much, this is your base strength and everything like that. And this is what eating the mushroom added onto it. Your movement and things like that are based more on your, what was that? What did I hear? Are based on your overall stamina, not your current stamina. You also have to be careful because, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Your ability to attack is also rolled up in with your stamina. So you don't want to, like, if you know you're going to be going into a fight, you don't want to, run and jump into it and then not have any stamina for attacking, because it's a good way to end up, dead if you do it that way. So I'm going to take you over to, I don't really like just walking, so I run a lot of places. The little map up at the top will help guide you to the right areas in most situations. And you can add like interest points to the map. So here is the ritual, basically ritual stone. We are not activating him. We're going to talk to Huon. Calling forth the beast. You have found the summoning place for one of the Forsaken. Make the correct offering at their altar and they will come. Be wary though, the Forsaken are not easy prey. So craft a wicked weapon, don your finest armor, and eat a hearty meal before engaging them in combat. Yeah, so I was just going to show you guys this. We are not fighting this dude right now. We're probably not going to fight him anytime soon. There's a bunch of things that I need to do. I need to like build a house, get clothes and craft clothes and armor, and basically hope for the best. Do I have enough for a club? Alright, I do have enough for a club. And again, I would hit tab to get to my inventory, and you'll have different options come up. So this will tell you what you can craft right now without having a workstation. And that's just this first. Oh, that's not, I've never clicked on that before. Whoops. So I'm going to take off friendly fire, not that I have anybody in with me right now. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this. Now, this shows you your skills on different things that you've done. So I've been running around for a little bit, so I have a skill of 2. I've been punching trees, so now I have an unarmed, combat skill of 5. The more you use these things, the bigger they'll be, the more effective you'll be. Like, for example, the better your run skill, the longer you can run, the faster you can run without your stamina going completely awry on you. So, like right there, I just jumped. There's a lot of things that takes care of. Let's see if I can find the stuff for an axe. Some of the things, especially at the beginning, that you can pick up, you may not think you need them, but like the mushrooms and the dandelions, you can use later for finding things, or for crafting things once we have certain items. So it doesn't really hurt anything for you to go ahead and pick them up now, unless you have a inventory problem, in which case there are chests. Once you get into the building section, there are chests and other things that you can use in order to not have to carry everything with you all the time. So we're gonna see what kind of boars. Whoops. Okay, now boars are not terribly hard to beat. However, you can capture and tame them, and they can make more boars for you. And that is what I like to try to do. There are a couple things that you can. Oops. The reason that would be important is you can basically then later, consume your pigs. You can use them for, look, a little river. You can use them for leather scraps and to get raw meat. You can use the raw meat to either make food items for yourself or feed wolves once you get to taming those, because that is possible. And the wolves, as long as you have 2 healthy, happy wolves, you can actually end up with like a whole wolf population. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it is hard to tame a wolf. It's not a cakewalk. But once you do, they will basically guard the area that you tell them to stay in. And this can actually help a lot with your base. They can also run around with you, and let's see. Actually, originally coming over here for this mushroom, but yeah, they can guard you and your base and items like that. Here we go. I actually have a house right here. Hopefully there's not a bee in it. It's an okay start. So what I'm gonna do, check both sides of this. All right. So let's see if I can craft a table. I need to make a hammer first. All right. I need 1 more stone, and then I can craft that hammer, which lets me. Hammers let you build things. Is there? What was that? Oh, that was the stone I needed. So we're gonna come over here. Now, this is not necessarily the ideal place to do some of these things, but we're going to craft the hammer. And now I can build like all of these other things. It's going to kick up a couple of different things. So you can also change where you have items so that whenever you have to go quickly to them, you can just hit the corresponding keyboard, the number on your keypad, and then it'll pull out that weapon for you. You don't have to go into your inventory, equip it, and all that fun stuff. So I have mine set on 4. So we are going to build a crafting station as soon as we get 10 wood. Okay. To get out of this little menu thing, I'm going to hit 4 again. I just have that. That's when mine just happens to be set up, so that's where I'm comfortable with it. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these little baby trees because I don't have an axe yet. And knock them down. And improve my, unarmed fighting skill. Which is important. A lot of people think it may not be. They're like, oh, why do you need to do that? Because you're going to be able to make weapons later. Basically, once you... Nobody can see anything on that. Once you have weapons and basically any equipment, it can take damage over time and become useless. So, like in the middle of a fight, if for some reason your axe goes out because you haven't repaired it recently, and that's what you're using to fight, then having a good unarmed skill. Oops. Alright, so whenever you see on the bottom where it's like flashing red, it's like, oh my goodness, you're out of stamina. You need to calm down for a hot second to make this work. Otherwise, this dude, even though being a basic character, could easily kill me. Okay. But, yeah, as I was saying, if you have the basics, a good unarmed combat skill, then you still have, quote-unquote, a weapon, even if your primary weapon happens to fail for some reason. I have played other games where that has happened. I don't enjoy it, so I try to not have that happen. So in order to build things, like actually legit build things, you have to have certain items, and one of those items is a workbench. So whenever I find houses like this, I like to put the workbench out here. I know it sounds crazy, but then I can cover it up. Oh, I'm just repairing this item. Now, I've gone through a lot of different things real quick without explaining them, and I'm sorry about that. So, whenever you have your hammer out, for example, if you want to go to the menu, you would right-click, and then you can just go to different items depending on what you need to do. If you need to build, you have your here. If you need to craft a workbench or whatever, you can do it there. If you just want to repair items, you click on this one, and that's the one I'm using currently because this is a damaged thing. So now that I've showed you that, we're going to go to building, and this is a 45-degree roof, so we're going to make sure that that matches up right, and it has like a snap in place feature. I'm gonna put him, basically cover this over so that the little gray dwarves, the little graylings that run around, cannot come in and destroy my basically my work table, and then I can't do anything with it. And it also, because this is a very small little houselet, it makes sure that I can, I'm not using the space on the inside where I could have like a bed and things like that. So if you look here, like where this is blue, it has like a little yellow bar next to it. it tells you how much damage this item has taken, either from things hitting it or being left out in the sun, effectively, the sun and the rain. So basically I'm just repairing it, so now it's full. Whenever possible, I do like to repair these instead of tearing them down. Some people tear them down for materials, and that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to do that. But I personally enjoy repairing them instead so that they can be used for other items. I can use this as like a low-key little safe house. Right, and ideally I would build a door here, but I need to get some more wood in order to do so, so I'm gonna have to go back out and punch down a few more little trees. And I'll go ahead and talk to him, even though he's kind of stuck in a thing. It's like, you have built a workbench. The workbench allows you to craft complex items as well as giving you access to lots of more building pieces to construct with the hammer. So if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to build the door or repair that item that all those little items that I did. And he's about to tell me that, hey, it's becoming night and it's about to get cold, so. Oh, you have crafted a hammer. With this tool, you will raise mighty halls and towering fortifications. Start by building a workbench. This will in turn enable you to construct other things. Interesting. Not what I thought he was going to tell me. Alright. So we're going to make this door now. And you would just pop it in. You can use your scroll wheel to twist it around however you need it. We're going to pop it into place. And now we have a completely, perfectly functional door. So I need a roof bit. Now this is not where, oh, that's all easy. Dang it. This is not where I'm going to build my permanent house. But it is pretty much where I'm going to weather out the night. So earlier I told you that you can change things on the map. So we're going to do that right now. You hit M for the map button, and you can scroll. And I personally scroll in like as far into the map as I can whenever I'm doing this, because it gives you a slightly more accurate connotation of where things are. So I'm going to grab this little house thing. You can use any one you do, just for safe houses or places that I've set up like a base. I will generally use the house feature unless I have a portal there, in which case I'll use the little portal feature. But you can use whatever one you want. It just whatever makes you comfortable. So I'll click on that, and I'll just type in SH for safe house. So this lets you know that it's not your main base, but in a pinch, you know, if you need to hole up there for night or whatever, you absolutely can. So I'll scroll out to a reasonable distance. And this is where you flew in, and I think, because I don't remember going out there, so that's weird. So I don't know what that's about. So you'll see it on the map here, but now on this little mini map, if I were to move out of this area, I don't know if I'll be able to move far enough outside of this area to make it happen. You'll now see it on the little mini map up in the right hand corner, which is handy to have, especially when you're running around all day. Ideally, I don't have a problem whenever it comes to nightfall, like running around at night. 1 second. Be wary of the weather. When the temperature drops at night, or if you are wet, you will suffer from being cold. This reduces your stamina regeneration. Seeking shelter by an open flame is your best option when this happens. Sometimes you don't always have an open flame option. Just trying to grab a few things. Get back to the house. Now, I am going to make an open flame for a couple reasons. One, if you have an open a campfire, items won't, or creatures won't spawn right next to your campfire. But I don't really have a place inside to put it. Is this the side that the thing is on? Yes, it is. So I'd put it, for example, right here. I need more stone, but I put it like right here because it's right here by my front door, and then I'd be able to do that. So find a couple of stone, hopefully hanging out on the ground. The downside about running around at night is it's super hard to see, and if you make there's a lot more creatures in the woods at night as well. So if you make a lot of noise, like construction noise, cutting down trees, mining stone, that sort of thing, like the things that make a lot of noise, will have critters basically come up like, what's going on over there? And then, depending on the creature that you attract, there could be some bad things happen. Oh, there's some stone. It's also super hard to see at night, so I try to not... Oh wait, I have a torch. What am I doing? I forgot I had this torch. I don't usually have them, but because this is a new character, I guess I will have to start making them and running around with them. So that is 6, which is what I believe I needed for. It's like on the mini map. It's, for example, from where I'm at, I cannot see that little house. Like if I just look around, I can't see the house. So if you get turned around easily, the mini map is like, oh no, but your house is like a hop, skip, and a jump that way. I'm like, I was right here and I almost didn't even see it. So. I'm gonna make a fire. Do I have enough wood? I don't have enough wood. So this means that any gray dwarfs or anything like that are not going to spawn here. So that helps. That's actually super important later on whenever you're building your bases, because they won't spawn next to campfire. So I'm gonna grab a couple more of these little treelets and build a bed so that we can sleep the night away instead of you constantly seeing just darkness and not being able to find anything. So I'm gonna make a bed. And this dude's about to tell you why that's important. Did I close that door? Yes, I did. Okay. Head rest for the weary. Sleep the night away in your bed and awaken feeling refreshed and full of energy. Another improvement to your home would be some chests where you can store items. It is good practice to always have some spare equipment if something unfortunate should happen while you were exploring. And that's 100% true. So basically, I'm going to set this spawn point, and I'm going to go to sleep. And it's going to be light outside whenever I wake up. So if you're running around, you dream of a river running uphill, of green shoots turning downward into the earth. If you do end up dead, then what it'll do is you'll respawn. Basically, you'll show up at this point. Now, I think I hear some critters outside, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this club before I go outside. I do hear a critter. I also recommend that whenever you're going to play, that you have your sound turned on, because in certain situations you can hear things coming even if you can't see them. So, for example, I heard him out, that little gray dwarf outside. So even though I didn't see him, I knew he was there, so I could, instead of running out of my house first thing in the morning, ready to meet the day, I didn't run straight into an enemy. I heard him coming, so that is handy. And different animals have different sounds. I'll pick up that branch. This is a good little... I just saw a branch. Where did it go? There it is. Now, right now, this punching thing only works, or I guess hitting it with a club thing, only works for these little bitty trees. So, there's a stone. That'll be handy. So whenever I need to get back into the thing, I'll go to my hammer. Now you want to make sure your hammer does not go all the way down for this. Like whenever I make my own house, I will make it. This won't be the case because I just found this house. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So we're going to do that. And I can go close enough to this workbench to use it. Oh, why are you too exposed? Okay, so we're not doing that. 1 second. I have had this worked in the past, so I don't know if that was a glitch that they fixed. I'm gonna put this little wood thing here. This is not technically what that is made for. There we go. I have had this work in the past. Of course, it's not working now because I'm trying to show somebody something. But, well, I'll go the other way. I'll do it from the inside of the house, which is not ideal, but oh, door is crooked too. Yes, it is. So I'll do the same thing, but from over here. Do I is it? Oh, I see. Wait, it's too exposed. Okay, so I actually accidentally, whenever I was building, put it too far forward. It needs to be closer to this wall here. So we're going to destroy that too. So in order to do that, in order to unbuild things, we're going to go to the hammer, and it's a middle click. Basically, it's referred to as the third mouse button, but in my specific situation, it's the scroll bar, or scroll button has a thing. So we're going to build that in a better location. Pretty much as close to this wall as I can get it. And now I should be able to repair my hammer. I can also repair my, I think I can repair my torch, but we're going to repair the hammer. Oh. And so now these all have full bars of health, as it were, so that I can do that. Okay. Yeah, so the world is fun. Sometimes, especially early in the morning, you'll have mist roll in, and you can't see anything, so that is... Okay. Now you can swim, and I will show you that a little bit later. Right now I'm still just gathering materials so that I can hopefully build certain things and survive long enough to make it happen. Okay, so this is how much you have. This first number is how much you have. The second number is how much the maximum you can carry in a stack. So I need one more wood in order to make this happen. And it doesn't really differentiate between like deadfall, like sometimes you'll find a branch, or a tree that you chop down. Either way, it's usable wood for your thing. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this stone axe, so it's easier to cut down trees. It's also a pretty, like this branch, either way, it's still wood. Doesn't matter if it's harvested or deadfall, it's still wood. So I'm actually going to run around and explore a little bit. Now, when you're chopping trees, you actually want to be careful of a couple of things. There's these little raspberry bushes right here, and if you leave them alone, they will actually produce more raspberries, but it is possible for you to either swing an axe nearby them, and I'm going to use that for an example there, and destroy that, and that will that one raspberry bush will never regenerate. So that's not ideal, but it does happen. Also, whenever you're cutting trees down, you have to be sure that you don't let the tree fall on you, because you will take damage if it falls on you or rolls into you from... basically, if it bumps you hard enough, you'll take damage for it. And, like, I don't personally enjoy it, but it does happen. Oh, here we go. Okay, so in here, there is a chest. Sometimes you can find things and find snazzy stuff, and other times you'll just find just absolute nothing. So it just depends on where you're at and what you're doing. looks like it actually goes out into the ocean. More raspberries. Okay, so up there's a boar, and they're not terribly difficult to defeat. Because I'm going to attempt to tame them, I'm not going to attack these ones right now. But yeah, no, that was a cool little spot for a safe house. Hear him. Where's that neck? He's over here somewhere. Ah, there it is. So I don't know if you can hear that noise. It's like that one. That is these little critters over here. And they'll be mad and they'll yell at you. They're like, get out of my swamp. It's not a swamp. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know if I can say that. I don't know if that's copyright infringement or not. I hope it's not. I hope I don't get sued. I'm just going to explore it around here a little bit, see what's available. Also, for example, like flint, the item that I just picked up, that is only something that you can find near the water. Like rivers and lakes and things like that. Rivers, lakes, and like, I guess, out into the sea. So if, for example, you have a situation where you're running low on inventory space, like your personal inventory space, I would personally sacrifice like the more common items so that I could pick up a rarer item. There are certain things that you can only find in the Black Forest, or certain things you can only find in the plains or in the swamp or whatever. If you happen to be in those biomes, you do want to go ahead and drop something that's like super common, like basic wood or stone, unless you're specifically looking to build in those areas. Just because they're more common items, they're easier to find. And realistically, for the most part, if it's a interactable item, I do tend to go ahead and pick it up. I can always drop it later. But like the mushrooms, not only can I eat them now for extra oomph, but I can also use them for cooking items later as well. Alright, so you hear that little neck? So he is over here, right there. But he'll make like this chirpy croak sound. There it is. So you can use that to see what's around you. This looks like a pretty swanky spot, actually. I might build here. I think I'm gonna build over here. Now, when you are building, if you have any of these weird little deadfall items around, like for example this big stump that looks like it's rotten, you want to go ahead and get rid of those because those can also attract the little Grey Dwarfs through the Greylings and that sort of thing. So it's not super hard to get rid of them, but it is a good idea to get rid of them. Actually looks like a pretty good spot. I wish it was flatter though. Alright, so I don't know if you see it, but on the left here, these start blinking. That means they're about to fall off or to be ineffective. Their benefits are about to go away. Oh yeah, this is a pretty good spot. Let's see what we got. So, because I'm planning on building in this area, I am trying to get rid of these rotten ones. Every time I think I've gotten them all, I see more, so... Okay, there's a chest. Because it's becoming increasingly more night-ish. I don't really have time to build a whole house just gonna like redo this one. Get rid of this. There we go. So this is not ideal, but there's enough open. Okay, so traditionally you would not start a fire inside a house unless you had built a proper chimney. But I think there's enough open on this chimney that I'll be okay and not take damage from smoke inhalation. As long as it doesn't rain, I think I should be okay. I don't know if you see it, there's like smoke kind of accumulating here, so I don't know if that's going to be enough to... Okay, as long as it does not rain, I should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up as a spawn point. Just so we can pop up to the day. Dream of a great tree reaching out through the night. One half of its branches crackle with flames, the others are green with leaves. I'll get right here in a second, and I can start. Deadfall tree. Promise this is not just all going to be me resource grinding. Sorry, there's a lot of, especially when you're building, there's a lot of, is this the right spot? Location, location, location. So I think that with the materials I have, let me see if I can build a hoe to flatten the earth. If not, I'm gonna have to use some unique building methodology. Oh yeah, I can build a hoe. I also build a flint axe. I can build wood arrows, but it doesn't really do me a lot of good right this second. So I'm gonna leave that be. Oh, here we go. You have crafted a hoe. This tool is used for landscaping. You could say it is a perfect complement to the hammer. Use it to clear the ground and manipulate the terrain. It is easier to create buildings on level ground. And that is 100% true. Like, it's a pain to try to do it in another way. So, how close to this tree do I want to do this? Long ages passed. When the All-Father Odin united the worlds, he threw down the Vanir, the giants and those creatures older than any others. The greatest of them could not be killed, but were instead forsaken, exiled here to Valheim for eternity. When they tread the earth, the lesser creatures jump like crumbs on a drumskin. You will know them when you see them. Well, that's not ominous at all. Thanks. Okay, thanks, bye. So, I'm gonna go ahead and break out my hoe. And try to level the ground a little bit. So I don't know about anybody else, but a lot of times when I build, there's a lot of like almost scowling at the world. um, and I think I want to build a 6x6 house. So we gotta try to. Now, there's going to be some points, for example, like this right here is just not flattening out. So those would, if I had a pickaxe, be items that I would need to dig out in order to make them flat. So let's go ahead and hit 4. Let's get started building. Anytime you do anything, you're going to have to be within a certain distance from a crafting station. Otherwise, you can't build at all. So, I also suggest getting your flooring down first, so you have a basic outline of where you want everything to go. this is made a little bit easier by the fact that these things snap together. Now, whenever I put it in there, you see how they're turning this like bluish gray color? You want that. You want the bluish gray color. If it's green or yellow, orange, or red, then that's, well, green's okay. Even yellow and orange are okay-ish, but red means that this thing is about to fall down, possibly on your head, so you're going to want to be careful with that. So I'm out of wood. So I'm going to run and grab, because I'm trying to do this on the quick, I'm going to do these deadfall items instead of, two reasons. One, I need to get rid of them anyway, and two, they're easier than chopping down a whole tree. Another thing, and I'm not going to lie about this because it's been a while, I'm actually not used to working with this small amount of stamina, so, or these materials, basically. So this is, when I very first started, I had a bunch of friends hop in and basically bring me gifts and help me build my first house and everything like that. So, oops, I didn't mean to hit that. So you didn't know how I was saying that you need to be careful whenever you're swinging your axe around and stuff like that, because you can knock down a raspberry bush that you didn't mean to. Yeah, I just did that over here. But yeah, I had a bunch of friends, a couple of friends that hopped in and like gave me equipment, showed me basically how to run around and do things. So I didn't really have the experience of having to figure things out as I go. I always had them to help me out, and on a couple occasions help me reclaim my body because I died somewhere and did something stupid and died somewhere. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna switch back to the hoe and see if we can flatten this out. Okay, we're gonna go back to the building tool. So 5, 6. I'm just trying to decide where I want to put my door on my house, because that's going to be the first thing that you see whenever you come out. So it's like rock, rock, rock. I think I like that way. And I need more wood. Now you're not going to want to leave the building too long, because if it does rain, then it will, basically your materials will have to degrade, and then you have to repair them before you can do anything else with them. Sometimes if you get really lucky, when you knock down a tree, it'll knock down another tree. That did not seem to be the case here. And like I said earlier, if you are cutting down trees, you need to be careful because they can follow your direction and squish you, and that is like, it's not like it's embarrassing, but it's like funny embarrassing. Like, I've done it and then like laughed at myself, so it's not like if you got killed by a tree, I'm not going to mock you for it, because I think especially as a new player, I think we've all done it. Or on one of my test streams, just to make sure that everything was working, I accidentally rolled a tree over Hugin, and he exploded, and I was traumatized. So you just have a bunch of things to think of. There's a lot of ways to end up dead in this game, honestly. Oh, I heard it. I heard it. Where'd it go? Where is it? I just heard one of those gray dwarfs. Oh, there it is. Yes, yes, come to me. Oh, oh, it was a trap. It's a trap. It was a trap. It was a trap. They don't normally work in tandem like that, so I'm not sure when they got smarter. And then you can just use your scroll wheel to twist things in the direction you need them. We're gonna get this door. It's the first door we put in the, reasonable hour of the day. So I'm actually gonna build this slightly different, because there's a, and you don't have to do this, but I personally like being able to see out the now basically I'm effectively making like a little window right above this door. So I'm not gonna put one in this spot here, because I like to be able to see outside as I'm doing things. So now this first house isn't gonna be fancy, but it will be quasi-functional. It'll even have room for like your crafting items inside. and things like that. Now there are some items that do make building at night easier, but building at night does kind of suck. Save time building at night is easier than gathering materials at night. When you're gathering materials at night, you have a better chance of attracting the attention of basically additional critters, and it's just kind of frustrating to have to go do that. Nope. So my axe just broke. That's fine. But I have my stone axe still. So I'm gonna go see if I can chop down this tree before. Okay. All right, there we go. I know it seems pretty frustrating now, and it takes forever to chop things down and things like that, but it will, as your basically as your skills improve, and as you get used to more things, build better food, it will not take this long. So I think I'm gonna build some torches inside of the house I'm making, just so I can build through the night. That's what I usually do, is I get the outside walls sorted out, and then I usually build through the night, which is trickier to do whenever it's you don't have any light at all. So. This is a for now item. This is not something that I'm going to worry about basically keeping up. I'm going to destroy those torches later as I get things that I need. So, oh dang it. I hear one. Oh, you're always going to want to make sure that you close your doors, because it is possible for, if you don't close your door, then those little graylings can come in and like just punch you in the head or whatever, which is not fun. They can also come in and like destroy all of your items. Okay. Now we're in an area that you can sort of see. Hopefully I didn't just blow all of my wood on torches. We're gonna try to finish this up. Now you can do it any way that you want, but I tend to put like the lines inside the house, like these supporting lines. I tend to put those inside the house instead of outside. But really it's just a matter of personal preference. So when you're running around at night, you do have the moon that can give you some light, but it doesn't give you a lot. And you can run around with a torch, but there's some situations where you don't want that. Where am I gonna build my fire thing? I think I'm gonna do that right here. So nuts. I think I'll go this way. I heard it. Right? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. These dudes are afraid of fire, so there we go. No, Piggy, you don't want this. You don't want any part of this. Shoot. So I don't know if y'all saw that, but I'd cut down. Ooh, no, don't do it, Piggy. Don't do it. I'd cut down this tree right here, and it in turn fell and knocked down this tree, which actually almost fell on me. So another reason why. Don't do it, Piggy. I don't want to fight you. That's another reason why running around logging at night is not ideal. It's not the best situation, but well, let's see about making it happen here. I'm going to do here is I'm actually making like a fire pit / chimney situation. Losing my brain is what I'm doing. Okay. It's been a hot minute since I've made a double wide chimney. I just did that. I was just right there. It's been a hot minute since I've made like a double wide chimney, but that's what we're gonna do right now. Do I want to do it that way? Yeah, I think I do. Sometimes you need to get higher in order to properly build things, so that's what we're doing here. Okay. So, and this is not the only way to build chimneys and stuff like that. I'm sure there's even better ways than what I'm doing right now. This is just the way, one of the ways that I do it. And like I said, I don't usually do the double wide chimney. I usually do the do singles, but as I usually make odd numbered houses, so I'm gonna take this thatch roof thing. Oh, that's crooked. That's crooked as heck. Pull it out this way. Now the reason that you want to do it kind of like that. Alright, so basically what we're doing is we're building a thing to funnel pretty much stuff away from. Oh, I need more wood. Man. What? What do I need? Too far away from the workstation. Alright, so you see this little white line? That's like the area of effectiveness of the workstation. So that's fun. Not this one. Now, when you're building, depending on the type of roof that you want, you have different options. Why are you not cooperating with me right now? Oh my god. For example, the thatch roof, the 45-degree angle thatch roof, you can actually walk on that Oh, sorry, you can't walk on that one. The 26 angle one you can walk on. The 45 angle one you pretty much just slide down, which is not the best. So, I know this looks goofy as heck, and I'm sorry, but you want it to come out high enough that the smoke will funnel into this area and away from where basically the inside of the house. And you also want to make sure that it's high enough that that happens, you can get the smoke away, but it also still needs to be covered so that whenever it rains, you do not end up with water putting out your fire and like damaging all of your items. So if you give me 1 second, you're also going to be going to want to be careful depending on how far up you're building, because it is 100% possible to fall off of something that you're building and die because you took too much damage from the fall. I've done it more times than I am comfortable admitting. It does happen. Hopefully we'll get that. I don't think I'm going to do a lot today with this brand new character, but I do want to try to get this house built before I log off. That looked uncomfortable. Okay, so we're gonna come grab this tree. Oh. Right. I personally enjoy the chain reactions whenever I'm cutting down trees for a couple reasons. One, I don't have to spend so much time cutting down trees, and two, later you'll get the option to basically plant new trees, so you don't really have to worry about deforestation because we're actually gonna. Oh, I don't know if I want to be down here. Right, so right now you see how I'm like trying to walk up and it's not really working. So right here, if you run, it'll help you get up and out of that little pit that I really didn't even notice until I kind of almost fell into it. So. So let me go ahead and finish this last little item for the and once you're done, if you unbuild things, then you can retain the materials for it. Or reclaim is, I guess, the more appropriate word, not retain. Alright, so now we're going to build the rest of this. have to grab some more stone before I can build the fire. Once I've got the fire built, then I can build a bed in here and there. Okay. Now it does have this snap together feature, which is handy, but sometimes it's like super fiddly on where crooked, like where you have to be standing, where exactly you have to put it. So that's sometimes a little frustrating, but it's not realistically, it's not the end of the world. Now, the reason that you want to build like a chimney or have like an open spot above it whenever you make a fire inside the house is because if not, if you just have it completely enclosed, you will actually start taking damage from the smoke. And I'm going to try to show you all that, but it may not happen. Here we go. We're almost done. Well, that's frustrating. You'll have that sort of thing happen a lot. Like a lot. So I'm gonna run out here. Go ahead and... What the hell? I'm gonna hide. Like a little weenie, because I don't know what that... Like, it's an event. But I have never seen this event. I've never had it happen. I don't know what the heck is going on outside. Let's see if I can build up enough. To see without... Like, I know I just built that, so... Oh, okay. Wait, is that it? Just the neck? Sorry, flint. No, we're gonna need that one because... Oh, and now it stopped. Of course it has. So now I'm like, oh, I'll go out and fight. So sometimes you'll have events that will take place that will do different things depending on what is happening. I'd never seen that specific event before, but apparently it means that the necks are gonna come out of the woodwork and try to attack you. Just gonna rebuild this here. Oh, and the bird wants to talk to us, so... You have been invaded. Monsters will lay siege to your camp from time to time. Strength of arms does not guarantee you victory in these situations. Build a strong defense to weather out the storm. Just basically what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna go pair some things real quick. Get him away from my raspberry bushes. Now, when I first started playing, there was like a glitch, and if you built your house too close to the raspberry bushes, then they wouldn't respawn raspberries. But that has been fixed, so you can actually just go eat your food. Or, as long as you don't knock them down, you can build like a fence around them if you want, things like that. Let's see, I needed stone and I needed some more wood. So I think there was some over here by this little... here's a little dolmen. And you do want to check in there because sometimes there are coins and like skeletal remains. And if you want to pick them up, you can. I don't think there's any negative benefit to doing so. I just personally prefer not to. Because I might be crazy, I don't know. The coins are useful. You need the coins whenever you get to the merchant, who is somewhere in one of the Black Forests. And that's what you need the coins for. So go ahead and do grab them whenever you find them, but there's not always going to be. Okay, so I just like fell down that little... Oh, more wood. Over here. So that little thing that I'd fallen in earlier, chasing that tree, had a bunch of free-range stone, which is why I was trying to get back to that area. You can... Oh, that snuck up on me. You can mine stone, but you need a pickaxe to do that, and I do not currently have one. So that's why I'm looking for some free-range stone so I can build. I don't want to fight with you guys. When they run off like that, just oh, he actually ran off. I guess I ran too far away from it. Just know that they do generally come back and attack you again. But I guess I ran out of his instance perimeter. Oh, it's over there. I'm a dingleberry. Okay. Should be able to reach it from here. Okay, so this is not ideal, but basically trying to build a support beam for this. Usually have that problem. I don't know if it's because I built that half wall, but so now have enough to also build my fires. I was going to build two. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think I do have this. Through this over here. I personally don't like carrying a lot of stuff around with me all the time, so that's why that happened. So now you can add wood to the fire so that it will keep burning longer. This is especially handy so if you come out here with me and look, oh, you may not be able to see it because it's dark outside. You'll see all this smoke coming out, and basically that smoke is not filling up your house to kill you now. So now we have a functional chimney. And you know what? I'm gonna make it a little. Maybe I'm not. I was gonna try to make it a little pretty and make a little almost porch around the edge, but I think we'll have to do that another day. Alright, where are we at? I threw all my wood. Other. Okay, so I'm going to deconstruct this bed. Realistically speaking, like a couple of these, because I'm not going to really keep this house now that I've got the other one. So. Oh. I guess he didn't see me? That was wild. Okay. It's 100% unexpected. So I'm gonna build a little house over here. I might have to move this torch. Or build a bed over here, I should say. And where do I put things? Alright, I'm gonna set the spawn point. I think I'm gonna move this torch. And see how dark it got in there. Now, if I were to take out all these lights, oops. Maybe take out the lights on the floor. It gets super dark inside. I built them, like, even during the day, it gets super dark inside. Even if it's, like, broad daylight, 100%, you know, outside, then it gets, like, super, super dark inside until you go outside. So, I personally like having at least one torch in here. There's definitely going to be more, though, because we're not dealing with that. I'm going to keep that. It's just, like, hanging out over here. This is just like a basic little house. I'm going to definitely going to make one a better house, or well, I'm going to make some improvements to this house. It won't necessarily be technically a better house, but I am going to make some improvements and make it happen. So this is, I think, where we are going to leave it for now. So my grumpy Valheim character and I say good night, good day, or goodbye, depending on where in the world you're at. And have a good one. Bye.